Hashtag Cardstock Wars. Do you want some tarot realness with a dash of I'm probably gonna piss somebody off? Well, here it is. I recently asked you what some of your unpopular tarot opinions are, and many of you wanted to know what mine were. So here they are, and shock horror. This may insult some boos and bitches and witches and tarot readers. So sorry, not sorry. I'm gonna embrace my internal Regina George.
They say that you're a homeschooled jungle freak who's a less hot version of me.
My first one is when someone calls an oracle deck a tarot deck, or even when they have the audacity, the gall, the gumption to put that on a box or a book. How very dare you? Tarot is 78 cards in a system of the way that is structured and the titles. Look, there is some wiggle room. I'll allow you some wiggle room. You can add a few cards. Heaven forbid you take any of them out. Please don't do that. And that also pisses me off. A whole nother thing though. Here's the thing, if your tarot deck has no structure, if your tarot deck doesn't have a major and minor arcana, hot take, it's a bloody oracle deck. Just lean into it and be okay with it. But don't try and sell people bullshit. I'm looking at you, John Holland Psychic Tarot. Yeah, you. My next unpopular opinion is when people bitch and moan about how much indie decks go for on eBay or on like Facebook Marketplace. Look, it is perfectly within people's rights to sell something they purchased and to buy something they want for as much money as they're willing to part with it. Just because you think it's too much means jack squat. I know that the creator's not getting any money and I know it's outside your budget, but guess what? Life's like that. And yes, it does suck that someone paid $55 to the creator and then sells it for, I don't know, hundreds of dollars. But that's what happens in marketplaces where there is supply and demand. It's not on the creator to publish more decks for you so that the price comes down. Soz about it, it's their work. They have every right not to do it. My next unpopular opinion are boxes that are non-functional or just way too extra. Case in point, this one. Let's go count the boxes, shall we? Okay, we have a slip, layer 1. We have a box with pretty much nothing on it, layer 2. And oh my God, look everyone, just in case you don't have enough boxes, there's another one. What the fuck? I mean, like what? This is just wasteful, wasteful. Why not turn this book into a size that'll fit the little box? It's just incredibly wasteful and I think it's stupid. I hate this next one so much. There should be steam coming out of my ears. So this is, breathe, okay. When publishers put a listing up on say Amazon or their own website or stores online, and they only show you the major arcana, they do not show any minor arcana because it's a PIP deck and they know it's going to affect sales. Now, this is so utterly frustrating. Case in point, this is the Labyrinth Amazon listing. It shows the major arcana and the back and the box. There is nothing that says this is a PIP deck. But guess what, bitches? If you look at the reviews, some people have posted some pictures that it says it's a PIP deck. You can absolutely bet your bottom dollar. I canceled my pre-order on that because I feel like it is purposefully deceptive of the publishing houses. It is a trend. This is also the Alice in Wonderland Tarot, one I was really looking forward to because I really love the art style. Guess what, bitches? It's a PIP deck. At least you can see it in the spades image on this one here. Cancel that one as well. I hope the Villains Tarot doesn't do it. It's the same author and I love her stuff. I have the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. Some of theirs were a little PIP, but at least a lot of their minor arcana were actually images. It really, really grinds my gears because as I mentioned, it really feels like this is done on purpose. Another big publishing house that does this are a lot of the ones that Liz Dean uses. Like there was the Crystal Power Tarot, done the same thing. Their listing has got no indication that it is a PIP deck. And the Magic of Tarot, same thing. Read reviews and honestly, let publishers know in your reviews online that you don't want this, or it is at least something that they should let us know beforehand, because this one really pisses me off. My next annoyance is guidebooks. There's pretty much two ways you can piss me off about a guidebook. One, no guidebook. Or 2, a lazy guidebook. So if you don't have a guidebook, I guess that's a way to cut costs. I know that Tarot Cetra in Poland doesn't have them. I kind of forgive them because their decks are so beautiful, but really it's not that hard to hire a writer to have a guidebook included, especially for the price that you pay for those decks. Lazy guidebooks are also a bugbear of mine. Maybe it's because I'm a writer and I actually put a lot of work into all the books and guidebooks that I actually write, and guess what? I actually do them myself. Shock, horror. But lazy guidebooks are when someone is selling a deck and they just have like 2 keywords or 1 sentence and there's really nothing in it at all. It's just like there for the sake of being there. Like if you're not gonna try, why even bother? It's kind of like that with sex too. If you're not gonna try, why bother? It's also frustrating when authors repeat their own content or what they've said in other books and give nothing new. Come on, even the art could inspire you to say something new about a card, couldn't it? The last thing that I'm going to talk about today that really burns my witch's broom are cardstock issues. And I mean that by shitty cardstock and also people bitching about cardstock. So let's dive into it and insult every single person on the internet. Come at me. Let's talk about shitty cardstock. Now, I don't give a stuff about cardstock unless it is so crap it's going to fall apart. I actually like Llewellyn's cardstock because while it is thin, it shuffles really, really well and it will last a long time. They tried to change their cardstock a number of years ago and it was absolute shit. It chipped all over the place. As far as shitty cardstock goes, I was gutted when I got this. This is the Sugar Skull Tarot Deck and Guidebook and I was so excited. It looks amazing. The cards are amazing. The book is so beautiful. The cardstock is beyond shit. The publishers really let down the creator and the author. And I think it's done a huge disservice to this deck. I have damaged my King of Pentacles just by trying to remove the paper ring around this. The paper one, the edges are fucked. This thing is going to chip so easily. I actually handed this deck to somebody and they said it feels like they just got some heavy paper and printed it on there. The cards aren't even rounded, which means they're going to chip and come apart because that's what happens when you leave the edges rough like this. Yeah, I'm gutted and I'll be letting the publisher know about it. Leaning in on that hashtag Cardstock Wars, when people bitch and moan about actual pretty okay cardstock because it's just not what they like, it's not their personal preference. And I've seen it in so many different groups. Guess what? Life is not all about your personal preference. I'm really sorry if this is just the first time someone's told you the universe doesn't revolve around you, but people have to make decisions and sometimes those decisions are not going to be the ones you like. Bitching and moaning about it in a group just makes you seem petty. Soz, live and let live. Nothing is going to be perfect, so I argue about it on the internet. Plus, if it's functional and it works, there's really no need for you to bitch. So a bonus opinion, and I've been thinking about this, is when one card ruins the entire deck for you. Yeah, that's a real pisser, isn't it? Yeah. Kind of sucks, especially if it's your favorite card and you're like, oh, I loved everything about this deck until I got to that one card and now I hate it. Yeah, that sucks.